Good evening. I am really excited to get to share with you tonight about our amazing students, and I'm going to start with Emmy Ramos. Emmy is one of the sweetest and most joyful students I have ever had the honor of working with. I am always greeted with a smile that is utterly contagious and treated with the utmost respect. Emmy is one of my hardest workers, and her level of tenacity and grit is something children her age could benefit from implementing in their lives too. Emmy is influential and a leader amongst her peers, without even trying to be. She stands up for and does what's right, even when it's the unpopular choice. Her positivity, joy, kindness, and warmth illuminates whatever space she is in, and this is what draws people to her. I hope and pray that she is able to push her way through any obstacle that stands in her way as she steps into her role as the natural leader she most obviously was born to be. I have no doubt that she will remain a beacon of hope and inspiration to those around her, and I will forever be one of her biggest cheerleaders as she continues to stop at nothing in order to accomplish whatever she sets her mind to. I am so proud of Emmy and feel beyond blessed that I was selected to be her ELA teacher this year, because to know Emmy is to know greatness and to continue to be inspired by her daily. And that was from her ELA teacher, Miss Powell. Emerson Ramos is a student who is always wanting to make sure you are in a good mood. She is very kind and thoughtful to ask me every day on how my morning is going. With her kind heart, I know she will do something great in the future to help others. Her history teacher, Coach Londine. Emmy is always there for other students. She is a hard worker, creative, and a good friend to others. Her theater teacher, Miss Haddock. I've had the pleasure of teaching Emmy science for the past 2 years, and she has consistently been an exceptional leader. She is not only diligent in her studies, but also actively advocates for herself, ensuring she has the support needed to succeed. Her dedication to both her learning and always doing her best has made her a constant positive influence in the classroom and an excellent example of our school expectations. Her science teacher, Mr. Haggard. Emmy is a phenomenal student athlete. She also serves as vice president for Athletic Leadership Council. Emmy leads with integrity, avoids drama, which is difficult to do for teenage girls in middle school, and works hard to be a leader and role model for campus. She is often overlooked because she moves in silence, but her actions speak loud. I could not be more proud of this young lady and what she has done, as well as what she is going to do. Coach Humphreys, athletics. Emmy is such a lovely young lady. She is active in sports, theater, cheer, athletic leadership, honors classes, and more. She represents our school so well with her friendly spirit and welcoming smile. Emmy is hardworking, conscientious, responsible, and kind, and I'm thrilled she is being honored by our district tonight as she is so deserving. Way to go, Emmy. You are amazing. Love, Miss Gage, her math teacher. And now a couple more from your friends. From her friend Abby Kent. Emmy is an amazing friend who has stayed by my side since 6th grade. She always puts others above herself and is there when I need her. She has inspired me to do many things, and I couldn't ask for a better friend. And from your friend, Grayson Boshears. Emmy is a wonderful person. Her bright smile and amazing personality can change the mood in any room. She has been such a great partner when serving together through the Athletic Leadership Council. I know that Emmy is always there for anyone, no matter what is going on in her life. I will always remember our 7th grade ELA class where I first met her. I was always the quiet girl until I met Emmy, and she brought out the crazy, bright side of me. Emmy will always hold a special place in my heart, and I can't think of anyone more deserving of this award. And I have to agree. Congratulations, Emmy. We're so proud.
We also at the middle school, we do a little challenge. So thank you for being a merchant of hope. This is for you as well. Thank you, Emmy. Few things about Travis. There's not enough time in this meeting to say all the things we love about Travis. Not only is he a wonderful student, he's an exceptional human being. He always does what he's supposed to do without being told. He stays on top of his assignments when he's out for all of his extracurricular activities. He's a friend to everyone, and I've never heard him say an unkind word to or about anyone. I'm particularly thankful for Travis because my son, who is a 7th grader, was the football manager for the MS team. And Travis went out of his way to be nice to him and make him feel important on and off the field. He says hi to him in the hallways. He took a picture of him on the sidelines when he was snapping photos with his camera. And while that doesn't seem very significant to most, he will never know how much that actually meant to my son and this mama. The middle school is a better place because of people like Travis, and I consider myself blessed to get to have him in class. And that's for Miss Isbell. Travis, thank you so much for being an awesome student and a kind person in math class. You truly are a model student, always striving to do your best. I appreciate that you always have your work done on time, even when you are absent. I can always count on an email telling me and asking for any work that needs to be done or video that needs to be watched. You consistently demonstrate a strong work ethic and always offer help to those around you that may be struggling with the material we are covering in class. No matter what the task is, I know I can count on you to give 100%. You come to class every day with a smile on your face, and you are always so respectful. It's an honor to have you in my class this year. Congratulations on a job well done. From Miss Coupling. Travis is the kind of student every teacher hopes to have in their classroom. He displays maturity and responsibility, balancing a rigorous academic workload with numerous extracurricular activities. He always takes the initiative to get assignments in advance and stay ahead. What sets him apart is his ability to advocate for himself, ensuring he has the tools and support needed for success while also holding me accountable in the best way possible. His dedication to academic excellence is evident in the thoughtful questions he asks and the way he encourages his peers to meet high expectations. More than just a standout student, Travis embodies what it means to be a Mustang. His positivity, leadership, and commitment to excellence make him a role model for everyone around him. That's for Mrs. Williamson. The words dedication, respect, and a strong work ethic define Travis Lutz in everything he does. Always eager to take on new challenges, he approaches every opportunity with an open mind and a willingness to grow. His incredible level of respect sets them apart, creating a positive and uplifting environment for those around him. With a commitment to excellence and a determination to succeed, Travis continues to inspire his peers and even his teachers. From Miss Cotton. Watching Travis grow over the past year has been truly inspiring, from balancing athletics and his classes to starting his own photography business. His dedication and hard work have really stood out. His ability to manage his time with classwork and pursue his dreams with such focus speaks volumes about his character and determination. I am genuinely excited to see where his journey will take him, and I have no doubt that the future holds amazing things for him. Travis, you're setting a fantastic example, and I couldn't be prouder of everything you've accomplished. Keep up the amazing work. And that's from Coach Ozuna. Can I just say, two things that stand out that I thought about too for Travis is just that he's great at self-advocacy, standing up for what he needs and what other people need, and he's just so open to helping others, which is rarer than it should be with 8th grade boys, but we appreciate that. So thank you, Travis.
We didn't know what to do. We've got any parents or family members in the audience for Emma. If you would, please stand and let us recognize you as well. I know we've got to have them somewhere. Same thing for Travis, family members. If you would, please stand. Emmy and Travis, the board appreciates your behavior and your leadership at the middle school. We appreciate that very much, and we can see the tide turning with Mr. Gonzalez's leadership there, so thank you. With that, we'll move on to 6B, Going the Extra Mile Award, Ms. Henson.
Good evening. Tonight we will be honoring Miss Shelley Cochran with our Going the Extra Mile Award. Miss Cochran is a special education teacher, and she's in her 20th year of teaching. Congratulations. Mr. Gonzalez has a few things to say as well.
Ms. Cochran is amazing. To put it all in words, I'm going to ask my associate principal, Haley Wheeler, to come up and share some words for Ms. Cochran.
So I am so honored to tell you some things that your colleagues have said about you. So from Mr. Hampton, he said, to Ms. Cochran, she's always been a positive resource for me, offering helpful advice and maintaining an uplifting attitude. She consistently challenges all of her students, always striving for what's best for them. It's hard to imagine that the MS SPED department without her. She's a true inspiration and one of the reasons I'm inspired to work in the SPED department. Every day I look forward to her beaming personality and a warm smile. She has a remarkable way of making the bumps and potholes of daily challenges so much easier to navigate. From Miss Reed, Shelley is a treasure in so many ways. She is a fabulous teacher and SPED lead. She's always available to answer questions. She keeps the SPED teachers motivated and on track with her calm leadership and the smile she brings every day. We love you, Shelley. From Miss Crane, Shelley consistently goes above and beyond. She's a dedicated advocate for both her students and fellow educators, always willing to lend a hand, often on short notice. I truly could not have made it through this year without her. She has worked relentlessly to guide a team of teachers who are both new to the campus and profession, and has stepped up to facilitate multiple ARDs for me in the last few months. Shelley is my go-to case manager, especially when a student or parent requires extra support and attention. She embodies the MF ISD vision in everything she does. From Shauna Isabel. I cannot think of anyone more deserving of the GEM Award than Shelley. She is truly the glue that holds so much together, and I honestly don't know how I'd get through each week, each day without her next door. Her dedication, kindness, and unwavering support make such a difference, not just for our students, but for everyone lucky enough to work alongside her. She is a sounding board and a voice of reason on hard days, and the biggest supporter on days of celebration. She embodies what it means to go above and beyond, always putting others first and making our school a better place. I am beyond grateful to have her as a coworker, and even more grateful to call her a friend. And from Miss Christy Greathouse. If you have not seen Shelley Cochran working with our students, then you are missing out. She has her SPED students engaged and involved in their learning and understands how to accommodate and modify what's needed so that all her students can learn. I have personally been privileged to learn from her and soak in her classroom management. She loves her students, and they respond to her realness with them. I am so grateful to work with this lady and to count her as a friend.
Okay, so the same thing goes for our teachers. We do this for everybody, students, staff, everyone. And so thank you, Shelley, for being a champion for students every single day.
there's any family or staff from the middle school here to support Ms. Cochran, please stand up. Well loved and well deserved. Thank you. With that, we'll get to 6C, Spotlight on Excellence. Dr. Gassaway.
Mr. Jacobs, if you will come join me up here, we're going to watch a video. One of the best parts. Hold on for him to get up here. Come on. This is the fun part. All right, we get to watch.
Here we are. It is February Spotlight on Excellence. And Carrie, you've got somebody that you want to nominate. Tell me a little bit about who you have in mind.
So I would like to nominate Thomas Jacobs out of our maintenance department, but I want to make clear all of our maintenance department guys are awesome. They do a lot to help us, especially out at Spicewood. They're always Johnny on the spot and asking if we need anything else when they're done with our maintenance order. Thomas in particular always takes the time to come by and let me know that they're on campus. And then just outside of school, I think he does so much to help the community, being in the volunteer fire department, and with that also going to California with the fires. And we have somebody close to us in those fires that was evacuated, and the fact that he went out to help just really, I think, shows a lot about who he is and touches my heart.
Awesome. Thank you for your nomination. Jeff, here we are. It is February, and we're focused on Spotlight on Excellence. Tell me a little bit about who you have in mind for our Spotlight.
I have nominated Thomas Jacobs, one of our maintenance out of the entire crew that we have, that you have built. You've helped me. They are very good at what they do. Thomas jumps in and does what he needs to do. The reason I'm nominating him is because he has taken time off and gone and helped out the country by going out to California, fighting fires, doing what he really loves, and taking care of another state. He has, he went for about 21 days, I believe, right around there, and he helped them get over their problems.
I can't imagine the stories he has. I know he leaves work every single day and heads out there to the volunteer fire department, and then just giving up his downtime to be able to go out there and help in whatever way they needed him. And I know some of those stories are dark, but you know, what a great story of, you know, we focus a lot of times spotlight on what we're doing in the school. Here's one where it's not necessarily school focused, it's community focused. I really appreciate you nominating him.
You're welcome.
Thomas, I will tell you, we're here on February Spotlight on Excellence, and you have been nominated by a couple of your colleagues. And I am so excited to have you as our February Spotlight on Excellence nominee and awardee. A lot of talk about, you know, you have a great maintenance department and all the guys just do extremely well. And the focus really was on what you do outside of MFISD, your volunteer fire department, what you did going out to California, and just, you probably put in 16-hour days, a lot of days. What drives you? What motivates you to not only give to our kids, to give to our community, to give to other communities?
I would have to say the support of my family, the support of my colleagues, the support of my boss, my school district people. I mean, you can't one person can't do it without the support of everybody around them, you know, and that's what makes it easier to do the job and not have to worry about what's going on when you return home, you know. So that would be what I would have to say, the support of everybody around me.
Well, I want to just say, on behalf of Marble Falls ISD, thank you for all you do inside of the school and outside of the school. You are loved, you are respected, and we appreciate you very much. Congratulations on being our February Spotlight on Excellence.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I think all of us know now that Thomas spent 3 weeks in California helping, and the stories, he can tell those another day, another time. It wasn't just in there fighting fires. It was some of the things that none of us would want to do after a fire, and going through homes that have been burned down, looking for things that we don't want to look for. But every day showing up right on time, giving 100%, then putting in a whole nother job every single day. And y'all, we're blessed to have Thomas. And so Thomas, a very small something on behalf of the district, and then something for you to put on your refrigerator with Nikki, so she doesn't forget that we nominated you and we recognized you. So, you have anything you want to say?
I don't belong on the mic, but I will say, my boss, my chief, y'all know Michael Phillips, my daughter, my assistant superintendent, my superintendent, all of y'all staff, I appreciate it. Thanks for everything. You know it's nice. That's not, I don't know that guy, so can you get him out of here?
Congratulations, sir. Proud of you.
Any family here for Thomas or support staff, wave your hands. Thank you. That'll get us to item 6D, Spotlight on Engagement. Ms. Leffler.
Good evening. For Spotlight on Engagement this evening, we're here to recognize an exceptional teacher who started out with us in a different capacity. I would like to call up to the front Emily Mendoza, health science teacher at Marble Falls High School. For those of you who do not know, Ms. Mendoza started out by substituting for us as a Marble Falls High School nurse sub in the spring of 2021. If you'll remember, the 2021 school year was not easy. We had a vacancy in the middle of COVID for a high school nurse position. She was such a blessing to help us for several months until the end of the school year. Through substitute nursing, she had mentioned to me and some others that she'd always wanted to teach and that she thought she would like it. And by coincidence, we ended up having a CTE health science opening for the next school year for 21-22. And she met the qualifications to teach the classes. Do you know how hard it is to hire a health science teacher? Almost as hard as a nurse. Second time we were blessed by Ms. Mendoza. Ms. Mendoza has excelled in the classroom, and I'm in awe of all the highly engaging lessons I hear about from students and staff. There's not one lesson I want to focus on, as I want you to hear several, so I'll give you a glimpse into her classroom. So first, in anatomy and physiology, for a unit that I cannot state the name of, but it's about the body's outer layer. Emily probably could say it. See, integumentary. She did watercolor creations for the different tissue types, microscope lab to identify layers and types of tissues, wound creation lab that showed what layers of the skin are damaged based on the wound that's created, from glue, food coloring, Kleenex to create wounds. Created a tissue box skin model, used Play-Doh to have students demonstrate the different types of skin cells. In a skeletal unit, she did bone identification labs and skeletal builds with Play-Doh. In Principles of Health Science, where we get to really hook kids into health science, created a culture of healthcare quilt by using paper, infographic posters for different health careers and displayed in the hall, created a career pathways exploration picture book, debate in Socratic circles over ethical issues in healthcare, snowflake creation to depict stages of grief, design and build a healthcare facility using a gingerbread house, and create and present monster baby books over growth and development for the first year of life. In addition, I've had the privilege to review multiple grants that she's written to push innovation even further. If you have a chance, I encourage you to stop by and watch what the future healthcare professionals in Marble Falls ISD are doing with their exceptional teacher. Our Spotlight on Engagement for February 2025, Emily Mendoza.
If there's any family or staff or students here in support of Ms. Mendoza this evening. Great special recognitions tonight. If anybody needs to kind of slip out, now's your chance, or you can enjoy the continuation of your civics lesson for the evening. So, do we have any citizen comments for this evening? No citizen comments. Okay. That'll get us to 8 information items. We have general fund summary, expenditure report, proposed 2025-2026 board meeting dates, and special awareness dates. Dr. Gasaway.
Okay. So, couple of things real quick. On these proposed dates, I just want to bring the board's attention to the fact that all of the dates look almost identical to this year, with the exception of the December will be the third Monday, and then January will actually be the second Monday. And so the third Monday is a holiday. And so last year, stop moving it, whoever's doing it, and just leave it there. And so January 12th is going to be the day that we do January's regular scheduled board meeting. The reason for that is our administrative team will be on the 26th, 27th, and 28th in San Antonio at a conference. This year we were in Austin, so it made it a little easier to come back on Monday, but it was drive home, drive back. And so this next year, we're going to do it on the 12th. And so I just want to draw your attention to that. All the rest should look identical to this year's. So the only other thing that I want to mention is special awareness dates. February 19th was the State of Texas Anniversary Remembrance Day, Star Day, in honor of Texas joining the Union, and the day that James Pinckney Henderson became the first governor of Texas in 1846.
Thank you, Dr. Gasaway. Any other questions or comments on that section there? We'll move into section 9, presentation, discussion items, and possible action. We're going to go a little out of order here. We're going to start with item B, the CTE update. Ms. Bernard.
Hello. All right, so as hopefully y'all know, February is National CTE Month, and CTE stands for Career and Technical Education. Used to be the old vocational, VAC, CATE, those kinds of words, and now we are CTE. And so I'm excited to share a little bit about our program and what we've been doing. So our slogan for CTE Month is Celebrate Today, Own Tomorrow. And the other half of the room that didn't leave are some of our CTE teachers and students, and we'll get to them in just a second. But our next slide is a video that was put together by our AV students that we would like to share with you. They did a good job on that. So that video is done, like I said, by our AV students under the direction of Ms. Dupre, who is a new AV and graphic design teacher for us this year. And it kind of gave you a glimpse into the different programs of study that we offer at the high school. So that was really cool to see. So one thing that we always talk about is how do we measure the success of our CTE program? We usually every year talk about, we have about 90% of our high school students are enrolled in a CTE course. But this year, I would like to share with you some of our accountability measures on our TAPER report, because everyone knows our TAPER report. So what is really interesting on our CCMR, you can see that for 21-22, as a district, we were sitting at 66.6%, which was below the state and region average. And then last year, also let me back up and say that CCMR is 1 year delayed. And so yes, this is the TAPER of 23-24, but it's a year behind for CTE. Anyway, so then we jumped to 77.2% of CCMR, which is huge, which is about 40% of our accountability rating at the high school, which is awesome. I'd also like to point out some of the sub-pops that increased in enrollment and CCMR compliance during that time. Our graduation profile, when you look overall of the profile of a graduate, for the state, 31% are what we call CTE completers. And a CTE completer is a student who is in 3 or more courses for 4 or more credits in the same program of study. So if they're in animal science or plant science, all 14 different ones that we have. And we are above the state average with 37% of our students in CTE being completers, which is awesome. That also means that they to be CCMAR compliant for moving forward to be a completer plus an earned IBC, which is the next thing, which is the industry-based certification. And in 21-22, 41% of our students, our CTE students, earned an IBC, and then the following year, that improved to 58.3%, which is a lot higher than the state and region average. So we're really proud of that growth and success of our CTE kids. We're doing great things. Speaking of IBCs, are the ones that we offer. We had one big change this year in that we moved from CNA, which is the clinical nurse assistant, or nursing assistant, to a CCMA, which is a certified clinical medical assistant. And so in the video, you saw a lot more patient intake type skills, right? So when you go to the doctor's office, the first person you meet, someone that's taking your blood pressure and temperature, things like that. So that was a big change for our IBCs this year. But those are all of the different ones that we offer. Every program of study has at least one industry-based certification by the time the student graduates, and that is something that we cover the costs for the students as they move on after high school. I mentioned we have 14 programs of study, which is awesome for a school district our size, and we hit on all different areas from engineering, plant science, travel and tourism, all the digital graphics. We offer a huge variety of programming for our students, which is part of the reason why 90% are enrolled in a CTE class at the high school. So why all these people are here is talking about our CTSOs, which are our career and technical student organizations. So every program of study has a student organization that they can affiliate with, another way for students to be connected into the school. And they do lots of fun things. We have 5 CTSOs that we have at the high school. So BPA, which follows our business and entrepreneurship pathway. FFA, that is animal science, plant science, welding, all kinds of things in FFA. FCCLA, which is our teaching and training pathway. And then TSA is mostly our engineering students, but you'll see we have lots of crossover in different areas when we get to the specifics. And then Skills USA is kind of everything. It's construction, it's welding, it's speaking events, it's forensic science, it's a lot of things, just like TSA is. So the first one we're going to talk about is BPA. And so we have 2 students who qualified for the state competition. And what I really think is cool in our CTSOs is that we are competing against schools who are the big schools, the 6A schools. Like we're not by division. We have to compete with everyone across the state. So you do your region first, and then if you qualify, then you compete at state with the big schools. So our kids are holding their own. Jared Smith and Brazos White both qualified, and they will be headed to Dallas next week to compete in the state competition. FCCLA, which is the Family and Consumer Science Student Organization, They went down to regionals in Corpus, and I'm not going to read through every name because y'all can read, and there's a lot of kids to recognize. Michaela Moody, who you see standing by herself there, she did earn a bronze medal in the Creed, Mission, and Purpose division of that competition. And moving on to FFA, this is going to take a little bit longer just because FFA is so big, and they compete in lots of things, LDEs, CDEs, SAEs, livestock shows, all of those things. So this first one is our LDE, which is our leadership development events. And so you can see our students listed there and their event that they competed in and then what place they got. So we did have a first place at district in our senior skills team, which is awesome. Our second place in district with our radio broadcasting team. And then second in district with our Green Hand chapter conducting. And so Green Hand are your first year FFA members. So a lot of them are 8th graders because we offer principles of ag at the middle school. So shout out to Ms. Cotton for getting those kids hooked in and going. And then our ag issues team also got second at district and then advanced to area. So that was our LDEs. Next is Burnett County, which is a lot of slides, so I'm not going to read all of the names, but what is really cool about the Burnett County Livestock Show is that you can see this first slide has elementary kids on it. And so we have kids all the way from elementary through high school that are competing, and it's a really cool time to see all of our kids out there. You can see the different events that they competed in and what animal they showed or what entry they had. Highlighted in yellow, so Sydney Belk, this slide is the middle school. So here's our middle school student who competed. She earned Breed Reserve Champion, which is awesome. Lots of yellow on this one, so we moved to high school. And so these are our students who were Breed Champion, Reserve Champion, Grand Champion, Showmanship, lots of cool awards that our students earned. I'll give you just a second to look through that. If you hear the Belk's name, it's usually with cattle. It's kind of what they do. Now you hear the Boucher's name, it's kind of with pigs. It's kind of what they do, which is awesome because she won Grand Champion. So that's a big accomplishment. Moving on to this slide, we have more breed champions. Mackenzie's here. I'm going to have them all stand up in just a second so that you can see who they are. We had Grand Champion in AgMex. We also have our welding competition champion is here, Mario, good job. And then senior showmanship, that award is really cool because the kids have to be able to stand there and talk about their projects and answer any questions that the judges have. They stand all day because you never know who's coming to talk to you about your stuff. And it's just that personality, being able to connect with people and life skills that go beyond just showing. So those are some big awards there. And then some more awards. Come check out Burnett County. Lots of stuff happening. And I think this is our final slide. Yep, reserve showmanship. Again, being able to speak well. All right, so if you were on that slide for Burnett County, go ahead and stand up so we can say hi and recognize your hard work. They didn't want to stand up. Okay, so moving on to majors. So after Burnett County, then we go to major livestock shows. And ones that we're going to recognize here, Abby Boucher at San Antonio Livestock Show. She made third place and made sale at San Antonio, which is awesome. Tyler Belk had a heifer and earned 9th place. And then Kinley Verdell with goats, she's over there on the right, had 11th and 15th place at a major stock show, which is awesome for these kids to be placing. So congratulations to them. And then we moved on to San Angelo, and it really threw me for a loop because Abby had the same shirt on in both shows, and I was very confused. So anyway, Abby also had pigs again at San Angelo, 2nd and 8th place, and made sale at San Angelo, which is awesome. Kinley, again, with goats over there on the right for 6th place, and then Kinsey Greider right here with pigs also earned 10th place in their class. So awesome job for them. Yay! And then also we have the AgMech division of all of the majors. And so this was the San Angelo Livestock Show. Cypress Neve and Colton Adams, they're in that top left. They have all blue ribbons. You can see in the pictures. They had a 12-foot utility trailer. Down below them, Luis and Robert had the welding trailer. Brayson had the irrigation system. Brandon had the Cowboys table right in the middle, and Sebastian had a fire pit, and then Johnny had her foraging station. So those were all blue ribbon winners at the San Angelo Livestock Show. I don't have the pictures from this weekend because we just got back last night at 5 o'clock from the San Antonio Livestock Show. But we had second place in class with Sebastian with his fire pit, so yay. And then we had second in class with the welding trailer with Luis and Robert. And then we had first in class with the 12-foot utility with Cypress and Colton up at the top. So again, all blue ribbons across the board for all of the students that were there. So yay. Okay, now moving on to Skills USA. So Skills USA is kind of a catch-all. They do lots of things, and the projects you see in front of you are Skills USA projects. You can see up on the slide, it's all blue ribbons, gold medals, awesome things. And so we have two amazing guitars up here. I know LT is here. LT, you want to stand up? LT is one of our guitars. And I will say all of these projects the students create from scratch. It's not like you buy the pieces that are already cut out and put together, and that's the same for the trailers and things like that. They have built these from scratch. So those are all blue ribbon winners. Lucas is here, I think, with his charcuterie board. Yes, on the front right there. Very good. Yes. Esther Baker made the coffee table in the front right there, which is beautiful as well. And then you can see other events that we had, welding, fabrication, and they all advanced. And so we go, here's some more pictures. There's the fabrication team, and we go to State and Corpus in the first part of April. So stand up, students, to be recognized, our Skills USA kids. So Lucas, Timothy, LT, and Mario. So good job. Well, he wasn't wearing the shirt, so I forgot. I'm teasing. They're involved in so many things. There's so much crossover. If you talk to Sebastian, you'll know why he won showmanship too. So it's awesome. Okay, so moving on to TSA. TSA is actually the second largest student organization in Texas behind FFA. It is our biggest student organization down at the middle school, and they go to State in the first part of April, taking 35 students. So pray for those advisors and parents who are going to chaperone. They will be going to Fort Worth, and so you can see all of the different events they have up there, from leather working, photography, children's stories. There's so much so many different events that our kids can be involved in. Miss Jett is here. Miss Jett is our middle school TSA representative. And then rolling to the high school. So these are our high school students who qualified for State. It's the same time as the middle school, so don't go to Fort Worth the first part of April if you don't want to be overrun with students running around Fort Worth. So again, our students who competed in engineering design, sticker, decal, there's lots of options for students to be involved in, which is really cool. So that kind of wraps up CTSOs. So I would like to have all of our students stand up one more time and be recognized, and our advisors as well. They put in a lot of hours. And thank you, you can sit down. I'll let you go in just a second. And then one more plug, our health science teachers organized the blood drive for March 12th. So you'll be getting some information out to the community if you would like to sign up for a time for the blood drive. And the company we're partnering with will give us $15 for every appointment that's completed that will go into a scholarship fund for health science students. So mark that on your calendar. Another thing that CTE does is partners with Noonday Rotary for Career Day, and we just had that at the end of January. And so you can see all of our different sites and toured them around, and they come back so excited. So thank you for your time of doing that. It's a fun day that we always look forward to. One of the training center here in Marble Falls, which was awesome. So we're always looking for new, innovative businesses and careers to expose our students to. So there's some pictures from Career Day. The kids got to go up in the bucket things. They thought that was really cool. And then dentist's office, education, orthodontist. It was fun. And then here are CTE teachers in the district. The ones that are highlighted gold are our newest additions this year to CTE. And so thank them for all of their hard work. They are also advisors and coaches and things like that that keep them very busy, and we appreciate all the things that they do for their kids. The best thing about CTE is that it exposes our kids to things that they never thought they could do. They learn how to speak well, they learn how to work hard, they learn how to persevere, and we set them up for life after high school, whether it's going to college, going to trade school, or going right into work. And so thank you for your continued support of CTE and our programs and our families. And so I think that is it that I have for CTE. If anybody has questions or want to talk to the kids, they are still here before I let them go, but thank you very much.
Ashley, I have a quick question. Do you know when the plant sale is yet?
Yeah, so we had this big hailstorm that happened. I will say the video, those were that was footage from last year greenhouse. So we are still recovering from finally getting the roof replaced. Now it's moving on to the motherboard that controls the greenhouse, and so we are still working. We have lots of aloe vera. I mean, that's like the cockroach of plants. You can't kill it. So that's still to come. It's usually in April, and so we're trying to see what we can get going in there. But it's been a slow process this year. Yeah.
Anybody else? Sebastian, were you the last entrance at the premium sale at Burnett County? Oh, okay. Who was that individual? He wasn't? Okay. Okay. All right.
Oh,
Yeah. That was a,
the welding trader? Oh, yes, Luis Falcone.
Yes,
Yes,
yeah.
he's a senior. He's
I'm
in
sorry,
choir.
I apologize. I couldn't remember the name. I
Yes.
was trying to remember, but yes.
Yes.
So you said he had a good story, so I was thinking, trying to put the dots together there, but apparently the dots didn't match.
That's okay.
Apologize about
They're great kids, but yes, Luis
Yeah,
is one of
no.
our senior rabbits.
Thank you, Ms. Bernard. Appreciate the presentation. Thank you to all the students and staff. Y'all are doing an amazing job. Keep up the great work, and we appreciate the way you are representing Moore Falls ISD.
Yeah,
So,
thank you. I forgot to mention in front of you are gifts from the CT department that were created, not the guitars, unless you can pry it out of their hands, that were created by our students and advisors. So your little Texas stand, the heart cutout is over Marble Falls, so you can always remember that. By our welding department and our construction trades made you a nightstand, a front porch stand, something like that, to whatever you want to take with you. So from our kids. Thank you.
And with that, I don't know if I have any power here, but I'll defer to the teaching staff here, but y'all may be dismissed unless y'all want to continue with your civic lesson for the evening. So we will circle back to 9A, consider adoption of an order authorizing and providing for the defeasance and redemption of certain outstanding obligations of Marble Falls Independent School District, authorizing the execution of an escrow agent and containing other provisions related thereof. Mr. Bill Orr.
Yes. Tonight we're asking you to defease some bonds. That's a fancy way of saying pay off debts in advance. Y'all go ahead. No. This is boring stuff here. It'll make it more exciting. So, now, and I do have a correction on the sheet. Instead of 2.7 million savings or 2.8, our financial advisor is saying that it's going to be about $3,750,000 in savings. And so what the defeasance actually is we're depositing money with a financial agent who will pay those bonds off in the future. That's why they call it a defeasance. And so with that, you passed a resolution last year's fiscal year stating that you were intended to do this. And so tonight we're actually, now that we have the tax revenue in, we're asking you to go ahead and defease these bonds. They left the bench. Might have to take that one. So, any questions on that?
I think there's some motion language at the dais. If you need.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. So,
Go right ahead, Mr. Bushiers. So we have a motion and we have a second. Is there any other comments or discussion? Not hearing any. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Mr. Ward.
Thank you.
That'll get us to 9C, Policy Update 124. Dr. Gasaway.
This is our probably last update before we see what the state legislators do this spring. It's sort of a little bit of a surprise in that we've got something that they're bringing forward, but this is update 124. It covers a variety of different topics. We're going to just quickly run through those and break them up with the A's and B's, and so you'll see a little bit of each one of us. For the A section, there's only two. One of them has to do with if all of a sudden the state comes in and appoints a board, and so that one's kind of easy to not have to worry about. And then not have any latitude on legal. Those are dictated by law.
We have 6 that are in the finance area and 3 in the food service area, included in the legal portions. We have 2 locals. They're all related to the changes in the federal regulations, and they're mainly just wording changes.
I will be covering the 2 in CQ Legal. We have CQA Legal, and it's a simple reference shift. They changed the reference for 19 Administrative Code 102.1003E to 102.1003H. And some stuff was added at the top of that the CQA Legal, and it just shifted down by 2 or 3. The other is CQC Legal. Basically, all they did was add a reference and insert the TEA adopted standards for student technology device use, management, and monitoring. There's 11 that we're limiting the collection of student private data collection, center program material, and what steps it take.
I have EHB legal and local. I have EHBA legal, EHBAA legal, and EHBAB legal. And essentially, all of them increase parent notifications and documentation by the ARD committee related to dyslexia services. There's greater accountability for IDEA compliance related to those dyslexia services. Stronger ARD committee procedures that we have to follow as a result, which include the responsibilities for screening, intervention, and teacher documentation, as well as teacher access to IEPs, which under federal law is currently mandatory. They just wanted to make sure that we knew that that was mandatory, so they also put it into state law again. And then dyslexia services being more clearly integrated. As you recall, dyslexia had been under 504 primarily in the state of Texas, and through a corrective action plan from the federal government, we were required to then put that under special education at no increase in funding for that mandate. For our EHB local, it really is an alignment with the dyslexia handbook, changing some wording and that sort of thing. And then there's also increased ARD committee responsibilities related to dyslexia.
Myself, Mr. Puga, and Dr. Metzger will address some e-policies. I am going to explain a little bit more because they are the ones that you're going to get asked questions about. So EFB legal is on library books. We were here less than a year ago talking about library books. The major changes are that if you look at the first page, the statutory definition of obscene has been added. That wording is straight from the penal code. So it's not wording that they just made up for your board policy. It's straight from the penal code that is cited there. The injunction that was put in place by the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals is now permanent. And so thus, you'll see several places it will say book people. It's listed in there. And at the end of the policy, due to that injunction, there are several parts that have been removed. So we no longer will have vendor ratings. So the entire section about purchasing library books was removed. There will not be a TEA library materials list. There will not be a prohibited vendor list. And then special procedures they had for sexually relevant materials, those are not within there anymore. The EFB local is not listed on there, but it is our local policy for libraries. Nothing changed on that. And so everything that had changed was legal policy. EHAA is around human sexuality. So the state actually removed the 14-day parent consent before instruction and the opt-in on human sexuality, but left it in place for child abuse and human trafficking. In that, we still will do the 14-day notice to parents, and we still, just like we always have, will do opt-in. So we will remember we did what they required. We'd always done it, and we will continue to do it. So we will continue to notify parents ahead of time. We will continue to do opt-in. So for us, it stays the same for our processes. EHAC, if you've not paid attention to EHAC, really, it's helpful for you to look at. It really spells out our new requirements for middle school advanced math, which we started to put in place this school year. You may ask, what is our local measure? Our local measure is NWA MAP. You can see in there that it says we 60th percentile or higher on statewide scores, top 40% on a local measure. It talks about parent notification. It also talks about how parents can opt out. The other part within that policy that was added that I found interesting is that districts shall annually report to TEA data related to student enrollment and performance in the program in a manner to be determined by TEA. We've not been told how we will report that yet, but I'm sure once we do, we will know how to report it. The last part is that there is just, it used to be just CPR, and so they added the AED wording. The local policy I do have is EHBB local, which works around gifted and talented students. The changes in wording are to match the new state plan for the education of gifted and talented. And so if you look there, you'll see some wording. The part that is new, though, there is a part under funding. It says the superintendent shall develop administrative procedures to ensure 100% of the state funds allocated for the gifted and talented program are spent providing financial compliance guidance. I can assure you that we have had processes in place, and we will develop the administrative policy you're adopting as EHBB local. And so legal has it. The new part on EHBB at the very end on program accountability, if you read through that. And so it talks about that we will annually certify to the commission with the state plan. We provide you that information with our yearly report, and we'll make sure that we encompass.
All right, I have two policies. I'll be results. There's three main points that were added. The definition for significantly below satisfactory was added in the policy. If a high school student who is being required to receive accelerated instruction and they are also enrolled in that course, this only applies to full credit and not credit recovery. There's also clarification on the ratio waiver list. So accelerated instruction can be provided with a computer program and the completion of hours with fidelity. The next policy is EHB nations of bullet points to provide some clarity on programming, teacher, and supervisor requirements. It also includes and bilingual ESL. The family engagement plan component also now has a requirement that the plan must include a district, ensuring that the student data instrument is being used from the approved commissioners list for evaluation purposes and, of course, for evaluating.
I have three to briefly talk about. EHDD, this is really a change more to higher ed. Higher ed has to, in their dual credit, economically disadvantaged students can get free tuition for dual credit or reduced tuition, the sequence of courses, and advising. And so for EIE, a parent can request that their child retake a course, but the district does not have to allow that unless if they've met all graduation requirements. So if they've met all graduation requirements, they've passed the required courses for graduation, they don't have to allow them to retake it. If the district does allow them to retake it, they have to keep their original grade. So basically that's probably in place because a parent can't say, hey, I want my child to take this and get a 95 second time around and make my GPA higher. So they have to keep their original grade. EIF is the last policy, and it outlines specific PE courses that can meet the PE requirement with either a full credit or 2 half credits. And it added specifically the courses Lifetime Fitness and Wellness, Lifetime Recreation and Outdoor Pursuits, and skills-based lifetime activities. In the former policy, it didn't have those specific classes spelled out.
All right, last one. So I have 3 local policies to discuss, and then I'm just going to share briefly 2 of the legal changes that you might be interested in. But the first one is CY Local. It's regarding intellectual property. The main changes was primarily to the copyright section. They added performances and displays to include dramatic works, musical performances, or other audio and visual works in that section, and that it's directly related to teaching, related to the curriculum, during face-to-face teaching, and then when viewed in a classroom or designated place of instruction, and obviously with a lawfully made copy through authorized access. So just ensuring that we follow those copyright laws. In the D section, there's DG Legal. DG Legal regarding employee rights and privileges. There's a new section added right after jury duty to voting that reflects existing provisions from the election code. It just allows employees time off to go and to vote on early voting on election days if it's not consecutive 2 hours outside of their regular work hour. Another local change was in DH Local, Employee Standards of Conduct. They specifically added verbiage related to prohibiting nicotine pouches, regardless of whether the product contains tobacco or not. So while on district property, in a district vehicle, or while attending an off-campus school-related activity. Another legal, FM Legal, regarding student activities. There is a section there on UIL allotments, and they just added a section, a half a page on definitions of those districts that allow students that are homeschooled that participate in UIL, kind of defined the activity, specific amount of time that they need to participate in that, minimum standards for them to also receive funding for those homeschool students participating in UIL. And then the last is just GKA Local, community relations conduct on school premises. And all they did was they added, in addition to e-cigarettes, smoking and tobacco, they added other electronic vaping devices. And that was it.
This was first read, and so we will bring it back next month and give you a chance to digest it. We tried to hit on some of the more significant ones, and so if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. If not, we will have it on consent agenda at the next board meeting.
Sounds good. I'm sure our policy expert down at the other end will take a dive at most of those at some point, Gary. Already, look at you, overachiever there, so appreciate that. That gets us to 10, consider impossible approval of action consent agenda. We have the budget amendment. Minutes from the agenda, those need to be pulled out and done separately. Speak now or look for any motion language. Second, any other discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Opportunities, we have our regular scheduled board meeting on March 24th and the April meeting on April code 551.074. Discussion of safety and security, Texas Government Code 551.071, and we'll stand adjourned in executive session at 7:18. All right, looks like we will adjourn back into open session at 8:17, and no items for discussion or vote after.